Hello everyone, welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this special edition of YBMcast. Today we have our 1,000th subscriber has happened. Boom! And we appreciate everybody. We're at 1,008 now, man.
1,008. That grew. I just looked the other day and it was just right at 1,000 because I was watching some rewinds and I just saw 1,000 just on the dot. So within the last couple of days, it's grown.
And who do we have to thank for this? Well, the man to my right, who has supplied us with this opportunity with this bucket of baseballs that we've been talking about. That fungo bat, right?
36-inch fungo bat.
The jumbo economy size.
This is for the big guys.
Yes, and
girls.
The famous Marucci hitting net. Those things are really nice. We talked about the old Jugs ones, Mitch and I did, and where they hit you and wasn't always good, was it?
That's where the good Lord split you, in case you were wondering.
I've been hit in the face. You know, you throw them up. Everybody, they're not good. These are much better.
That's the ones we use at home, so I love them.
Oh, yeah. They can fit anywhere, right? You can fit a compact car. You can fit them in your big truck. So I love them. We have probably 8 of them at the facility.
Absolutely. And today, Mr. Rick Benz has been kind enough to join us. He did. He provided the Prime Sports Midwest bucket of baseballs. We got the fungo, the hitting net. Rick, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And he's gonna pop the big name here for the contest winner here in just a moment, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But first, remember, if you want to see some merchandise, 1550 Ocello Drive in Fenton, Missouri. It's in Champions Village. The store's great. A lot of merchandise. Feel the glove, feel the bat, swing the bat, right?
Swing the bat.
I love that.
It's plural. Make sure you have a comparison.
Plural. I like that.
Well, one bat doesn't fit everybody. They got to try several.
What's new this year, bat-wise?
I mean, there's a lot of new stuff this year. I mean, there's some bats go on a 2-year cycle. This year we're looking at a lot of new ones, and quite honestly, Rawlings really came up strong this year. They've had some stuff that's really popular, both in USSSA and BB Corps, which is something that I think maybe with the combination, who knows who's doing what when they bought Easton and where those were, but it seems to really be working for them. They're doing a great job this year, And then there's the regulars. All the regulars are still popping. Your DeMarinis and Louisville Slugger. They're really hot this year. The one new Louisville Slugger is unfindable, so that's obviously doing well on the BB Corps side, and they're all the norms. I would say the new surprise would be your Rawlings ones that are really kicking in, and Axe has a real good one that's really popular this year. It's just like rocket fire. It's more on the USSSA side that's really going, but there's a lot of good ones.
I'm definitely out of the loop on this. I've never heard of Axe, and I didn't know Easton was bought.
Yep, Rawlings bought Easton, and I think was a really good move for them in respect to their bat line. I think Easton always had a great bat line, and then Rawlings had a great bat line.
Yeah.
But together, I think it makes them really strong, and they've come up with some really strong products this year.
I'm going to show you how old I am. Swinging the old 33 Easton Black Magic.
I was going to say it.
Yeah,
everybody
baby.
loves that Black Magic, that black and gold.
It's back.
It is back.
Yeah.
They did that a few years back with the that's not gold, but it's like a silver and green one too. They had
the
that
Easton B5.
Yeah, that they came back with that design. I think it's pretty cool.
It's interesting. We found one in the garage that was an Easton that looked exactly the same, but it was a BB Corps, but it was a -4 instead of a drop 3.
Oh boy!
So it's kind of dates it, but it looked great. It didn't have that massive barrel that a B5 has, but those bats they're bringing back seem to do really well.
Yeah, I guess it's because all us parents are 40-somethings all swung it. So, that's what, for nostalgia, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I saw, your latest post with that. It was orange too, right?
The Atlas.
The
Atlas is the one we were just talking about. That's the orange one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man.
The schemes of these bats, the paint or what are the designs on these things are just, they're insane. I love the looks of them. They pop, so when you grab a bat, you can identify what maker that is just by seeing some of the colors of these things.
Well, the reality on that one is it's a phenomenal bat. It's test out of the world. Everybody loves it. The biggest ding on it was the graphics.
Really?
On that bat. Oh, yeah, that was the one thing that everybody kind of said, "Ugh, what the heck?" And I think in the beginning actually slowed the sales of it, but then you just can't ignore results, and the results on them were just unbelievable.
And to me, that's the thing about bats. Year in, year out, technology continues to grow, continues to move, and especially with BB Core, there's not much really that these guys can do at this point with the bat because it's supposed to be more like a wood bat. Yes or no?
Well, it has specs that they have to adhere to, but I think what you have to do is figure out, when we go back to why would you hit more than one bat, is you have to figure out what's best for you as a hitter. One size does not fit all. If you have a kid that's a power hitter, there's a different type of bat for him and a different size for him. The kid that's more of a gap-to-gap guy that has a lot of speed on the bases, he's going to swing a different bat, maybe more of a balanced bat. Just because you're the guy in the lineup that's your friend and you love his bat and he happens to be unbelievable on how he swings that bat, it's not made for everybody. So that's why you swing a bunch.
Yeah, I was a balanced guy. Still am. If I can put a bat in my hand, it's always going to be balanced. I don't like the end-loaded bats, and so that's why I have to have a bat in my hand. I can't just go online and order from a vendor online and get it and say yes, or even balanced bats sometimes can feel end-loaded in the handle. So I like the brick and mortar opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a good selection. Like you said, it's not just one brand. It is a good selection of bats.
Thank you.
I think that's the interesting thing because I remember DeMarini, always a really end-loaded bat. That was the thought process with them. I always liked the Marucci. I thought they were more balanced in those respects, just in the time frame Justin was swinging bats and things of that nature. So it's different when you're talking about gloves, though. I mean, gloves don't change much, do they?
No, I would say they do. You've got a lot of different things that have changed. You've got things from spin control, which is a big deal this year, and I think that's
in a glove.
Yeah, and it's an awesome idea if you think on the concept of it. It's got the spin control webs and the palms where it's got little, I'll call them, looks like little pimples, and there's throughout there, but the spin control keeps it in the glove. They're not flipping out. I think that's a great design. Your webs, they've changed the webs a lot depending on the position. Again, it's definitely not a one-size-fit-all. And while me and you, all of us probably had one glove in our bag, these kids have 3 and 4 sometimes, depending on how many positions. There's pitching gloves with different webs for pitching. There's outfield gloves. There's different sizes. I mean, they really have to be size appropriate for the position, and there's advantages to making sure you have that right size.
Big time. Hand stalls, too. Like if you're a difference between an infielder's glove or outfielder's glove, first baseman's gloves, things you're supposed to close, things that you don't really close. Infielder's gloves, we're not trying to squeeze like you do an outfielder's glove. So there's a big difference in infield, outfield gloves per se. But again, back to the brick and mortar. Glove in hand is huge because whether you're a 2 in the pink or pinky, or if you have your 5 fingers in the 5 slots, they make gloves like that now.
Yeah.
And I understand. And see, to me, that makes it important, especially because I know just from my own experience, when Justin was little, you bought a glove, it's cost effective. He's probably going to wear it out, may lose it. You never know. Because how many gloves have been left at the ballpark, right? So you think about those things. But when he started getting into high school and whatnot, we invested in a glove. And we tried on a bunch of different gloves. This was still when Johnny Max was open. And tried on a bunch of different gloves and what felt right, whatnot. And invested the money into a glove that was going to carry him probably through college. And it did. And so I thought that's to me the more interesting thought process with a glove.
Yeah, you could take a younger child right now, and we have price points that are down low. We can also take a gentleman that wants to buy a better glove for a younger child that has a smaller arm and go with a contour glove instead. So there's a lot to be said for knowing what you're doing and what you're buying. If you buy that same glove online, you may not know to buy a contour to get the skinnier hand. There's just so much to it, and I'd like to think that we offer all those things and have a good amount of expertise there to help guide you through the right way, and not always for the most expensive way, the right way.
Tools of the trade. I believe in them, and I remember going through the high school process. I had one glove that I was able to get lucky with to catch all 4 years there, and then my infielder's glove was the same I believed in spending the money on the glove because I've, the whole feel good, look good, play good kind of thing. I don't want a flimsy glove out there, and so I wanted a glove that, again, that fit me. And I've even tried on the same gloves before, the same exact model glove, same color scheme, everything, put it on my hand and have had gloves fit different just because maybe the way that they were shipped, where they sat in the box, things like that. At least that's my experience of, Fishers, Johnny Max and stuff like that. When I was a kid growing up, or even Sports Authority, I guess, at the time. I had to try on every single glove in the store. Yeah. I was there for a long time, and I don't think you carry this glove out there, so I'm gonna recommend it. And the SSK.
Yeah, we've talked to them. That's definitely a line that we're looking at for next year. And I don't think you're the only one that likes it, to be quite honest with you. I think
awesome.
I think they have a pretty good following, and it's something that we're definitely considering. There's what's called they have our times of the year when we do our booking orders for the following year, and that's in the next couple of months, and I think they're on the agenda.
Well, you keep me posted. I got about 6 years into this glove, and I love it. Yeah, it's a really nice glove.
I will. It's hard to take on a new line of anything. You have to make sure that there's a following on it, and I think there's a new line of catcher's equipment that we're looking at that I'm absolutely in love with, and a new line of gloves that I'm in love with. And
I'll be your first buyer.
Okay, great. I'll take it.
I'm not sure that one buying of glove, might have to get the inventory here, but that's awesome. I am a big fan of their products. Nothing against anybody else. It's just, again, how it fits in your hand. And that was because I was able to try that on at an event, and I've just fell in love with that glove. Bought it on the spot.
Check out Prime Sports Midwest. It's primesportsmw.com. Go into the store, go check it out, look around. There's great stuff there. I love the fact of what you guys are doing with. I would have never thought about this in 100 years, but certain places you can find even a vending machine from Prime Sports Midwest. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever.
And we're trying to expand that. That's going to take a couple months to get them out everywhere we want to get them because of the cost of doing it.
Sure.
And it actually, like, I've got a couple ordered right now, and the vending machine company is having a little bit of a delay getting them to us. So we're actually where I would say we're normally delayed by us trying to get it together. We're delayed by them right now, and we're kind of waiting on them. So come what I would call the heavy season, when your gym starts to fill up or your facility starts to fill up at about November, that's when we plan to have them out in a lot of places, including yours.
Let's go. I didn't know that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, you're on it.
Genius.
Learn something new every day.
Exactly. So, and as everybody knows, you can go to youthbaseballmidwest.com, go to our merch store. It is actually a Prime Sports. They put a store up. There's all kinds of YBM merchandise. We will have some shirts. As my crack engineer over there was scolding me earlier before the show, I didn't bring anybody in to show them. So, my bad. But yes, they look good. They look good. Rick did a great job putting these together. We've got some orange with a white body that says "We hit dingers."
Is that the one I'm wearing?
That's my dog over there. And then we got a blue with a heather gray, right? Heather gray. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yep. And live in the K zone. So we'll have those out at the tournament this weekend. So we're looking forward to that. We got some hats, some great hats. Lauren's wearing one over there. Yep.
She waved.
She did. She waved.
No, I love it. Like, everybody's seeing it. We got cameras on the reverse back here in the top corner.
I thought you'd have wore the hat I gave you out at the ballpark the other day, Brew.
I don't think you gave me a hat the other day at the ballpark.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Mike and Kevin. I got one over here for you.
Okay.
I should have handed it to you.
I'm going to give him a checklist.
Yeah, I didn't get the matching shoes or the matching hat to go with it for the show, so he looked over at me like so disappointed. Like,
it's right there on the chair, Lauren.
Oh, you brought it for Mitch.
No, I just need a blue. Look good?
It looks good, bro.
Look all right. I think the blue makes my eyes pop.
Yes, it does.
It does. The orange will blend in with my hair and skin tone, so that's good.
It works.
It works.
Right?
It does.
But Rick did those for us. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, he put a patch on that. And we talked a lot about that. I kind of talked to folks about that. I think that's interesting.
It's just kind of a new thing we're doing on that. Reality is it gives us a lot of flexibility. The patch is kind of the new thing that a lot of people are doing, so we love that part of it. The second part is that I can get really close on Pantone colors. So if I get a Royal hat and we want to match that Royal, then I can go and match the Pantone color on the patch because we're printing it ourselves, and therefore I know I'm matching. I don't have two different Royals, and that'll happen all the time when you look at reds, especially. But with that flexibility and quality, because they last forever this way, we're basically sublimation printing onto the patch. So A, we pick the Pantone color, we know we're matching, and B, we know it lasts forever. The printing quality becomes second to none, and it's the new thing. All the kids are looking at the patches, the leather patches, and the rubberized patches and stuff. So it is definitely high quality, and it's a great alternative to 3D printing on the stitching, which does not always get to, your color tones tend to be a little bit different in those cases.
That's the hardest part in the color matching.
It's extremely hard because one company's Royal is not the second company's Royal. It's just what it is.
Can you explain for the people who don't know what Pantone is? Or
the Pantone is like a number that's associated with the color. So in your case, like this Royal Blue has a Pantone number. We'll call it 098 and whatever. And then so we match 098 to here so that the two match exactly, instead of having them off. And in Royal, it tends to happen. Reds, it happens all the time. Reds are the most infamous for that situation. Grays, you'll have teams like, if you ever went to a baseball field and you saw the youth kids playing, they've got a gray top and gray pants. Well, they bought the gray pants stock, and the tops that were sublimated printed. Well, they're two totally different colors. While they're both gray, they're not.
I have made that mistake. I have made that mistake and have had bought additional uniforms to match because I did that thinking I would get off cheaply or something of that nature, try to save cost on getting a stock gray pant that costs you $15. Sublimated pants might cost you a little bit more.
Doesn't match.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
It really, really, really does. Can I add a little bit to what he does? Because I have this experience with Rick and down in Prime Sports is their team stores. Make sure that if you are looking for spirit wear, stuff like that, get down there, have a conversation with him. He has been great working with us. I think we've had the store stays open. There's obviously some times where parents won't, order, but he has been great in working with, stays communicated with me throughout the process. And so go see him for your team needs for spirit wear.
I think thank you very much. The best part about staying open all the time is we can adjust to the climates and the season too. Yeah. And we've got a lot of them here in St. Louis. So we can adjust and
in one day.
yeah, in one day we got all kinds. But it allows us we can basically stay within whatever's going on out there, and we can stay within a lot of people's budgets. So I can have a lot of different ends from top to bottom on that kind of matches whatever the team or the individual parent's budgets is.
Yep.
Let's give some stuff away. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Do we have a drum roll? That's bad, isn't
You
it?
want me to go get your sticks?
I got my sticks over there. I could do a drum roll. Should have recorded one earlier.
Well, the good news is because this is a recorded show, I guess that you can technically still record.
I can put this. That's the beauty of editing.
Yes. I want a double kick as well, just to get after it, like some metal version of a drum roll. I picture Rick for a Metallica guy, Pantera.
That's my generation.
Yep. I can see it. He looks like such a nice guy, but he's got like this, Alice Cooper.
Yeah, as you get old, you adapt what your kids listen to, and then, luckily for me, it's country, so I can.
I was going to say, I've seen your son, so I can imagine he's a country bumpkin.
Yeah.
No, they adapt to me. I rule the airwaves. Thank you.
Are you an Eagles fan?
An Eagles fan?
Yeah, like the band?
Oh, I listen to Ashes Remain, Decipher Down, 1,000-Foot Crutch.
Yeah, they took a different route than I expected.
I know the Eagles. I listen to mostly Christian music as far as that's concerned.
Well, I mean, it is the nature of the business.
That's what I listen to. And you got one of my favorite openings of any rock and roll song is from Decipher Down, Fading. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Got to, dude.
Out of respect, I'll look that up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a 90s hip hop guy, so it's completely different than the music that you
And then
listen to.
and then there's some old 80s hair band Christian rock, man, from Whiteheart to Bride and whatnot that just kind of, oh, yeah. There you go.
Check it out.
Yeah, I'm not on that one either.
So there you go.
Nothing against
We're
it,
just
obviously.
a plethora of useless information around here.
Yep.
So, Rick, we picked a name earlier. We did this. Mitch had his eyes closed. Bam. We were scrolling. We stopped on the deal. Would you care to announce that?
Tracy DeMario.
Tracy DeMario. And the thing of it is it's interesting. You know, she had subscribed in that and whatnot. We had her son on our player spotlight, which, you know, some of those things just go full circle around, and it's kind of funny to me. But Tracy DeMario, thank you for subscribing, and to all the other folks that have subscribed and pushed it. We're going to do some more stuff. We're going to do some more giveaways for current subscribers now. Because Mitch's like, what about us that have already subscribed?
I want to win something. It's been a long time since I won anything.
I'm sorry, nobody, no participants in the show are legally allowed to participate in, because that's one of those
Fine print.
integral things, man.
What about my kids? They watch the show.
They subscribe?
Yeah.
There you go.
They got their own YouTube channel.
Yes, we can do that. Yeah.
I'll make them change their name. It's rigged. Next thing I know,
rigged.
next thing I know it, I'll have a parent complaining. So I probably don't want to do that.
So, Tracy
That's
DeMario,
it.
congratulations.
I'll bow out.
Bucket of baseballs. Reach out to us. We'll reach out to you, and hopefully you're watching, and we will get this to you. So congratulations. And again, thank you to Rick and Prime Sports Midwest for supplying this great stuff.
I got one thing before you go, Rick. Yeah. I have to warn Tracy.
Is he going? Are you leaving?
I have to warn Tracy.
Oh, about the swimming risk?
Yeah, please don't let your son try to swim in the bucket. I know you probably don't fit, but just be careful. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that.
There's a warning label. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
if
but
you do it, it's at your own risk.
fair. I also don't read, so I just, yeah. All right, Rick, back to you.
Full disclosure, we bought those from Rawlings. Rawlings put that on there. I did not fear anybody drowning.
Oh, mercy. So appreciate it again, Rick. And
Thank you.
We're looking
Thanks for
forward
letting us
to
be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to continuing to work with Prime Sports Midwest, and we'll have some more stuff, I'm sure. And again, the merchandise store on the website. Make sure you get down to the store, 1550 Ocello Drive, Fenton, Missouri. It's in Champions Village, guys. Also, remember, Game 7 Baseball. We are powered by Game 7 Baseball. And we had, it's funny. Since we're at our 1,000th subscriber, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. We got 2017. It was that our first summer that we started. I was talking with Dave and Dave. I'd umpired for them and different things, and I'd started this, and I'm thinking to myself, let's go over and see what we can do. And I talked to them about bringing the cameras out, doing video, just highlight stuff that we can post from the World Series, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. It was hard for the umpires to get used to me on the field. There's, get off the field, you moron. Dave said I could. I don't care who Dave is. Get out of here. But they got used to it, and everybody pretty much knows me now, so that's good. And we were, since that time, starting that, we were out at their events. It's grown. We've been in different places, and now we're live streaming championship games. It's been a lot of fun going through all of that till we and through all the stuff where we were shut down for the year and coming back and getting that momentum back. And it's been an interesting ride. And I want to say thank you to Dave and Dave for allowing us to bring the cameras on, to supporting Youth Baseball Midwest, to being on the show, and just all the things that they've done to promote youth baseball. I think they do a great job with their tournaments. We have a lot of fun out there. And I remember, as Rick is sitting here, they've played in Game 7 tournaments, and I remember
A lot of years.
Yeah.
Still with the young ones.
An 11-year-old Riker getting a top award back in the day when he was playing with the Dynamite. And so I've known Rick a little while, and then when him and Gavin Richards, they were our first player spotlight show.
Oh wow!
It was Riker and Gavin, and both those kids are now. I mean, Riker's tearing it up over at Vianney, heading to Oklahoma. Got a bright future, and so it's kind of all this stuff. This is always what I wanted it to be. You're out at the ballpark, you see kids that you've seen growing up, watching them grow, playing in high school baseball. We've seen a lot of these kids that we've seen at Game 7 tournaments now playing in high school, and it's so much fun to watch that progression and be part of the community that way. And that's always ever what I wanted for Youth Baseball Midwest. And just an outlet where we can talk about baseball, we can talk about issues. We don't shy away from anything. And I don't think we should, because we're not upset. We're not mad at anybody. It's not that. It's just there are issues out there that you have to deal with sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get kids that parents, and I'm gonna go to my go-to. I think it started off with reading the Matheny Manifesto. I just thought he made too many blanket statements. Parents are the problem. That's because you don't want to deal with parents. But, you have to respect the parents. Are there parents that are disrespectful? Yes. Are there players that are disrespectful? Yes. Are there coaches that are disrespectful? Yes. But that's not the majority of people. That's the small percentage. And that's, but that's tragically too many times what we focus on. We want to focus on how we can resolve these. What are solutions? How do we talk about where the game should go with clubs? We talk about American Legion baseball. Where's their place? And we're working with American Legion as well, because I think it's a great opportunity still. There's so many places to play baseball, and I think we need them all, because not everybody, as you said, it's not one size fits all.
Absolutely not. No, not at all. And every kid needs a different scenario, and they all are just looking to have a good time and be kids.
Right. It seems like that's something that always comes back to is we've forgot to make sure these young people have fun. And it has to be at 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Imagine if his son, obviously now getting a chance to play at a nice program in high school, moving on to the next level, D1 baseball kid. Imagine if he wasn't having fun at 11 years old.
Right.
What choice, what path would he have taken? Would he have maybe played a different sport, and things like that. So make sure that we're still having fun. Even as you get older, try to find a way, because it starts getting real serious about 15, 16 years old, where life decisions are happening. So they're completely different than wanting to pick who you play for in the summer or what you're picking at the concession stand for nachos or pretzel with cheese. It's different.
Heck, I still like to get a snow cone after the ball game, man.
Oh no,
suicide, right?
I didn't get this small and this great physique by not wanting to visit every single concession stand at every park.
Dang,
you could have a show on rating concession stands.
Oh, we're
man.
going to.
Listen, I got my go-tos everywhere I go to.
Look, we're fixing to, because there's some really good ones. I think Baldwin is a really good one. And we're going to have to get out there.
Their grills are seasoned. That's why. They've been around a long time.
I think BMAC, they got the new one up top there. It's got the adult beverage scenario, air conditioned. You're inside. I think they really did that one nice. They went a little further up.
I think that started because it was geared towards slow pitch softball.
Right.
It just obviously advanced into needing space for other baseball, because how big select baseball and softball got. There was a need for field time.
Yeah, but that's forward thinking, I think.
Oh, yeah.
When you're talking about concessions, how do you do that? Maybe next time we see a Chick-fil-A somewhere, right?
They're at all the concessions.
I was going to say they do Chick-fil-A. Like you go out to O'Fallon, the park out. I can't name it.
Fallon's Family Sports Park.
Yeah, they bring Chick-fil-A in every morning.
Do they really?
Yeah. Yep. And sell them $2 or whatever they are for their chicken sandwiches. Just plain chicken sandwiches. You don't get the spicy cheese,
That's okay.
Anything like that. But I mean, I think they have them even as early as breakfast.
They run out pretty fast. At least they did last week.
Well, every time I'm out there, like I go at like 9 o'clock in the morning to get two of them.
Upset.
Man, but that's what I mean. There's so many things happening with youth baseball, and it moves very fast. It moves quickly, and from that 9U to even 13U, whereas 14U we talk about 13, 14U kids are starting. There's kids that won't play in high school. There's kids that just will play high school and be done. So I think it behooves us, and that's what we hope to continue to do, is to, talk to players, talk to coaches, instructors, fans, family. I think it's interesting, and the conversations that we have about the game, keeping it, for lack, as the kids say, keeping it real. I love Matt.
I have no idea. I love it when Brian thinks he's acting cool, and it's kind of cool, but it just chuckles because when
I just do it for you, bro.
I know it's funny because when I try to do the same thing, trying to relate to this generation of athletes, I say some certain things, and they're like, "Nah, it doesn't work for you, coach," and I'm like, "Now you say it," and I'm like, "It's wearing off on me," so now I say that to you. And they always say it's because I have like this dad vibe, or this I don't have that cool side of me because I don't lace on cleats,
Hey, let's throw some winners up here. We got the Easter Turf Classic out in O'Fallon, Illinois Sports Park. 9U, St. Louis Clutch, 9U, Podolsky, I think that's what it is. Podolsky, his group took the 9U championship 14-7 over the Sugar Fire Fury. Big game there. 10U, Missouri Gators. Coach Walker's squad beat the Prospects of Coach Radke 12-11. Barn burner there, baby. Slugfest. Last guy up, right? In the 11U bracket, the St. Louis Naturals beat the O'Fallon Athletics 12-10. Another slugfest, man. That's what I think is interesting about some of these younger kids this way. You're going to see that because everybody's out of pitching. Yeah.
Probably tired.
One inning, yeah.
Out of sugar.
That's a 2-day event right there, and it was all Saturday. So you're pushing there at the end. 12U AA championship, RBC American goes down to the U.S. Nationals. Coach Clancy, that's your group over there. Your son.
Not my group.
I didn't say your son.
My son plays there, definitely.
Easton, right?
Easton plays there, and Riker both
and
play
Riker.
there. Yeah.
That's all I meant. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna change his name now since Rawlings bought Easton, are you?
No, I don't know. I mean, poor kid.
But this score was.
I'm going to change it to favorite son.
Riker doesn't watch the show, does he?
12U AAA. The Central Illinois Swing over the St. Louis Pirates 9-4 in the AAA championship. 13U. We had a little bracket play here. The 5-star Mo had a bye. The Champagne Dream lost to RBC Prime 1-0, and RBC Prime won the championship 17-3 over 5-star Mo. That's a big win right there.
That team's good.
That RBC Prime?
Yeah.
That is 13U. Do you know who coaches that squad?
I don't. Played them 2 weeks ago, though. They're
Did you
solid.
really?
Yeah.
Solid. Okay. That's right, because you're Easton, right?
Yeah, Easton played them.
There you go. So we've got, went too far, 14U AA championship, St. Louis Prospects. Coach Post is a winner over, I don't know what TBSA is, so we'll go find, still don't know. They're out of Springfield, Illinois, but I'm not quite sure what TBSA stands for, so I'm sorry about that, folks. AAA 14U, we had the Adidas Athletics, Coach Bell, 7-0 over the Gateway Bruins 14U National. So that wraps up the Easter Turf Classic for Game 7 baseball. We're going to be out at Ozzy's this weekend, folks, for the 42 Classic. We got our Jackie Robinson trivia coming up. Looking forward to that. I got asked some trivia last time around.
You got asked?
I got asked. John Myers from Midwest Futures in the last show because I was talking about it and whatnot. No, it was Kevin. Kevin asked me. John Meyer was on the show. Kevin asked me. Kevin Wolder asked. He said, "Okay, Brian, how many sports did Jackie Robinson play in college at UCLA? Did you guys know?"
Oh, it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it's a good question, huh?
I was going to go with 3.
It's 4.
So I thought I assumed track, basketball, and baseball.
Football.
And football.
Really? It's really interesting on how different, like, you think about like Bob Gibson and stuff. I know it's about Jackie Robinson, but to have the ability to play that many sports in college is amazing in itself, because I know most colleges these days, they don't want that two-sport athlete. They want you full-time in that sport. So that one shocked me. I was just kind of trying to go with the seasons.
And isn't that amazing? To me, I thought that's just unbelievable what kind of athlete he really was. And I know it was a different time as far as sports, but I don't care. You play 4 sports in college at any time, I think is just unbelievable. It'll be interesting to see because we have Brett Norfleet going to Mizzou for football and baseball. I think that's one of the toughest things because they kind of overlap each other. Do you miss the spring? What do you do? How do you catch up? Those two to me are I think are the most difficult. If you're playing basketball and football, I think you have an opportunity to kind of get between those two. But when you're talking about baseball and either basketball or football, it really, I think, is a challenge in today's sport. I really do.
It'll be interesting. I think to navigate that process, you got spring football and, a lot of the freshmen coming in, it's important to be there in the fall. So this is why I say, like, in today's game, it seems like there's not too many two-sport athletes in college. I know that there's obviously some. There's probably way more than, in some of the smaller schools, even the Division I side of things. But again, spring football, I mean, it's a place that you have to showcase your skill set, especially if you redshirt as a freshman.
Yeah.
There's how do you get there? So I am following that story because obviously he's a good tight end and he can swing it. So
yeah.
Hats off to him to be able to keep his grades up to do it too. I mean, what a great young man that is to be able to do that.
Let's not forget about what it takes to be a student athlete at that level too.
I'm impressed with him athletically. He's an amazing athlete, but to be able to go there and do it with grades too, hats off.
That is tough. I agree. I think that's the thing that we forget a lot of times. You see a kid carrying a 3.5, 3.8 GPA, and if you're just one sport, I mean, you're not doing anything but playing the sport and going to class. That's basically it.
Well, guys like that too still in the gym. He can't stop working out because if he walks in as a freshman in the fall on campus and tries to play football, he better be in shape. So not only does he have to worry about ball and stuff like that, who knows if he has to work. There's just so much going on. You're right. Student athletes, and take advantage. Anybody that's watching this show that's getting ready to go to that next level, that college level, make sure you take advantage of any of tutoring opportunities or study halls. Don't think you got that too big of an ego because those places helped. They helped me out tremendously in college.
That's awesome.
Rick, and I think this is interesting because I like this conversation part of it. We talk about some of these things before. You've had Riker now go through this process. You don't know yet with Easton what's going to happen. But what are some of the things you'll learn? Would you do things differently? What's that process as you're looking towards your other son?
Well, I mean, for us, a lot of it had to do with what Riker wants to go to school for, too. And Oklahoma has a great aviation program. That's what he wants to go for. So everything made a lot of sense. And we visited and loved it. Easton, he hasn't expressed anything like that. He's 7th grade. He doesn't have any of those types of interest yet. And I wouldn't force it on him. I mean, there's so many life experiences that could come up, and we'll try to gel the two together, whether it's for sports or just education and or just because that's the school that happen to love. We're not even pushing high school. I mean, they may never even go to the same high school, much less anything in the future. So, and while we still have 2 years to decide, as far as he's concerned, he'll probably visit every school in a 200-mile radius, because you get a day off school, you get a free lunch and a shirt. I mean, that's all he's concerned with now.
That's exactly what my daughter did.
Yeah, he's like, I'll shadow everywhere. He thinks he can shadow Oakville High School. Okay.
I love it. That's awesome. You do that. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, shadow everywhere.
Hey, it's free clothes, man. The way I look at it, you ain't got to buy a wardrobe. You got to buy shorts.
Score for me.
Right? You got to buy 3 colors of shorts.
Do I get to go to a baseball game too?
If he got that, I don't know if he'd ever make a regular day of school at his regular school, St. Margaret Mary.
That's so good. I love that. That's great.
So I don't know that I'd do anything different. I just really want him to be happy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's the key. If you're not happy with what you're doing, I don't care, because once you get into college, it does become work. I think we have this misconception because we see spring break and all this stuff. When you're in school, or you've seen the old movies, the frat party movies and all that kind of stuff, but it is really work. Your education should be about how you're going to progress in life as far as your work, what you do on a daily basis. How do you approach that to where this is what you're going to do to make a living the rest of your life? Yeah. And I think that should be the thought process when you're talking about if you're going for a higher education that way. Whether it be a technical school, whether it be a 4-year or graduate school, or
for trade. Anything, whatever makes you happy. Absolutely.
And I think those are the things, setting your mind to that as a high schooler. And parents, we're helping them understand that thought process.
I just like what he said there. And, he's got a 7th grader that's obviously has no idea what he wants to do for a living. He's just trying to have as much fun as he can. But what he said is, what can I do to make him happy? So they'll figure that out together. He'll probably be the driver of those decisions. And you have to, I think that we have to do this in general, is let's give these kids some of that, ability to drive these decisions, and we'll help through the process. But you need to stay away from trying to live through that kid. And he's trying to do what he makes his son happy, whether like he said, it's education, trade, right to work, or he does do it for you.
I think the part for my job in this is to make sure he's happy, give him whatever part of a crystal ball I can give him to say, well, those types of jobs may or may not be here in 10 years, so let's think about that. Let's think about things that are going to be around. And that could be a trade, and if that's what's best for him, phenomenal. If that's what's interesting to him, but you give them the guide of, hey, these occupations are going to be here in 10 years, to 15 years, to 20 years. Some of them may not. Let's focus on those. Whatever makes you happy, let's find the right fit from there. And the right fit may not even be athletics at all. It may just be education. It may just be the school. It may be just what fits him for the future. Don't matter as long as he's happy and visits me on the holidays.
I like that again. Just the knowledge that, in general for me, like you have had experience from 18 till your current age. Those life experiences are way different than you had in high school and as a youth. Absolutely. And so you're being able to pass that information along, which is probably far greater than any how to hit a baseball, throw a baseball, because the percentages are not on our sides to continue playing this game after high school, college. No. So that's life experiences, and I think that's good in helping our kids get to the next step of their lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Rick, thanks for coming into the studio today, man.
Thanks for having me.
Taking time out of your day. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Guys, 36-inch fungo, Tracy DeMario, the winner of our 1,000 subscriber contest. We appreciate everybody who subscribed. Thank you very much. We appreciate Rick. We appreciate all our contributors, Game 7 Baseball, everybody who's had a hand, from Mr. Thomas over there, who, Tracy, you know what? We're going to find another name. We'll announce it next week.
Hey, what if they want to come down?
If they want to come down,
let's give them the opportunity first.
All right. And if not, we'll throw that at somebody else. How's that?
Locally, yeah.
And but to Kevin Mulder, Matt Shadow, who've been a big part of our prep baseball talk show, Coach Perkins, who has from the beginning gave me the first opportunity to interview somebody for the show. I appreciate Coach P doing that. It's been a lot of fun. I hope here's to another 1,000 subscribers, and we keep on going. So, and thank you for my lovely lady, my daughter, who is the engineer over there, and without her, we couldn't get this done. She does a great job putting things all together for us over there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you're here and you haven't done it before, hit the subscribe button. Hit that dinger next to it, because that's what we do around here.
Devils and Dingers.
There you go. And that will get you all your notifications for upcoming episodes of YBMcast. So remember, all pitchers, keep throwing strikes. Mitch?
Always between the lines.
That's for those hitters. You know, those pesky hitters.
Well, I see, sometimes it's good to have a duck fart, or a little Texas leaguer, to get you out of like a hitting slump. So I was like, normally I'm all about swinging for the fences. I realized how many times you strike out when you swing for the fences. So I was like, let's get a couple bloops in and then a blast.
Yeah.
Because it seems to work against the Cardinals. So maybe that's what we should do. Tell everybody in their youth side, just a couple bloops.
Let's do that. A little bloop and a blast.
Bloop and a blast.
There you go. Oh, see what she does?
If all else fails, get a new bat.
That's right. Yeah, because it's the bat's fault.
It's definitely the bat's fault. You can improve your average 100 points with a new bat.
Her $100 that you
Her
spend.
100 spent.
Oh, man. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. We'll see y'all next time.